Right, intro, blah blah, nice. How's it further? Hey guys, how's it going? Now, this might feel a bit weird. It's me in Minecraft. And to be brutally honest with you, it feels pretty weird. I don't think I have played non-UHC Minecraft 6 years, maybe? I don't know. It's been a long time. There's a lot of shit has changed in this game, and frankly, it scares me. I think that's part of the reason why I haven't played anything is because I don't know what a lot of stuff does anymore. And you know, you've gone from being pretty much an expert on the game to not having a clue what's going on and feeling like a doddery old man. But I thought, as I'm going to do this, I might as well make it particularly difficult, as you can see, by using a texture pack and renderers. So, yeah, it looks weird too. Anyway, what are we doing? This is Frankencraft. This is hardcore Frankencraft. What is that? I suspect you might be asking. Well, it is. Now, I have to be honest with you here, I'm not overly sure myself. Basically, we get a group of people, and everyone takes it in turns to be on the server on their own for a fixed period of time. In this case, it is 8 hours, unless you die. But we'll come on to that in a bit. You've got 8 hours to do what you need to do, make a base, blah blah blah, and then if you die, not within the first hour, you can respawn then, or you get to your 8 hours, you then quit, and the next person comes on and they carry on. So it's a shared inventory. If you die, you don't lose your inventory. But we're not allowed to communicate with each other through signs or anything else what we are doing, what we're planning, whatever it is. Now, I am the third person, I think, in the list. I just have to open up Discord to double check that, but I think I'm the third person. I'm just rebooting my machine so everything's turned off, which is great. Right. Where is it? Not that. That there. Yes. So, Grimer was first, and then Floozemaker. Now, I've played 7 Days to Die with Grimer and Nebris, which we were going to record, and then we didn't. And a lot of you probably know what Nebris is like. I think Grimer is possibly worse, and I think he will probably be the first to admit that. It was quite difficult because the pair of them were just running off in a race to win the game first, and I was left behind quite a lot. And I suspect this is going to be somewhat similar. There's a lot of overachieving going on. I'm not aware of Floozemaker in his style or anything else. And after me is Delphron, who similarly never met before, never spoken to before, so this is all quite new. Should be interesting. But there you go. As you can see, things have been built already. It's quite well populated. We got farms and houses and stuff like that. But I'll be honest with you, this is an over recording. This is future me. Hi. The future is not much better than it was in the past, I'll tell you that. But what I'm going to do, because basically I didn't get a lot done. It's quite embarrassing, really, if you look at everything these guys have done. And later on I'll do a little bit more, but certainly the first couple of hours I did fuck all. I was a bit of a deer in the headlights, if I'm honest with you. A lot of standing around staring at things, wondering what some blocks were, trying to remember how things work, what my name was, what day of the week it was, that sort of thing. And there's a lot of wandering around. And when I did go caving, try and get some... Now I do know what I want to do, but obviously being, you know, a survival map, I'm going to need to go and get a lot of stuff. I need to do what I want. And a lot of the things I want to do are quite late stage, well, need quite late stage blocks. So it's going to be a while, I think, before I sort of kick that into gear, although I could do it without the frameworks of mud and stuff. But that's what I'll probably do next episode, and it should be a little bit more productive. But for this one, as I say, I went caving and was not what I would call successful. But I think it's fair to say that it all looks quite pretty. We've got some potatoes on the go, which is nice. Get a bit of food. So I thought what I would do instead is just generally have this running in the background. There'll be a lot of sped up footage, but look at that, that's very pretty. It's very pretty. Although the water is a little, I don't know, the water seems to be wrong. I mean, I know it's a fairly realistic texture map, but at the same time, it's very stylized, and obviously Minecraft's very blocky, and the water is very realistic, and it just sticks out to me. But I don't know if there's any. I'd like to say fuck this chicken in particular. Yeah, I don't know if there's a one of these things that kind of renderers that does water that's a bit more Minecrafty. I'm not really an expert in renders. This is the first time I've really done it. RTX cards, I thought it was smart as well. You know, push it a little bit. Anyway, as I say, I'm going to do a lot of sort of background nonsense, and while I do that, I'll talk about where I've been and what I've been up to. Here you go. A bit speeding up stuff as we build some shit. It seems a bit odd to have this. I know this is a spawn place, but there is a big shared thing at the top, so I thought I might as well, you know, make a nice staircase. Yeah, I thought I might say where I've been, what's been going on. I will say that I've been doing a lot of Warzone, although that has died a death fairly recently. But yeah, I've been doing a lot of Warzone. I've actually been playing quite a lot of Pressure Washer Simulator, or whatever it's called, which is mildly embarrassing, but it's strange. It was strangely cathartic and therapeutic. Especially when when it was really hot. We've had a really hot weather here recently. It kind of almost made you feel cooler because you're spraying water around. I know it's absolutely insane to say, but so I was doing a lot of that. But we've had some good news and some bad news and a lot of stress. Doing a lot of work. Work is very worky. That's never fun, is it? But I've been planning big things. I've been working and saving, and I am moving house. Myself and a very, very long-term friend have decided that because the housing market in the south of England is a fucking joke, to put it mildly, I can't get. I have, a decent job. I'm not, a wealthy man by any stretch of the imagination. I'm not overpaid, but I am more than fairly paid for my skilled position, and I can't afford to buy the one-bedroom house I currently rent. I can't get a mortgage large enough without £130,000 deposit, which I don't have. I know that might come as a shock. So yeah, I couldn't really buy anything on my own, and she's self-employed, and I've known her since I was 18. We went to college together, and we've been friends ever since, and that's 30 years. And I lived with her in the past, actually, when I came back from my sort of part-time living in the States. I went and lived with her for 3 years in her house, renting a room, which was cool. But she's self-employed, and self-employed people have always kind of struggled. What is it with raining on this bloody server? It's like Minecraft. It's like Minecraft. She's self-employed, and self-employed have always struggled with mortgages, but particularly now. So she couldn't really get a decent mortgage on her own. And it's really stupid because she works in the entertainment industry, and obviously that took a big hit over the last couple of years. I don't know if you noticed. And mortgage companies, banks, seem to have forgotten that. It's really weird. It's just like, the last couple of years didn't really make a lot of money, and they're like taking that into account, and it's like, it's not really fair, is it? But she's doing all right now. But she sold her house last year, so she's got a fairly decent deposit. So we thought, let's just all go together. Although she can't get a mortgage on her own, with me, we can get a bigger mortgage than me on my own. Especially with the fact that she's got a large deposit. So obviously the bigger percentage of mortgage you have on the house, the better rates you get. It's the world is skewed towards people that have money, and luckily we're in a position where she bought a house cheap. I think she got a foreclosure. She got it cheap at the right time. It made quite a lot of increase in value, so she came out of it quite well. So we've done that. We bought a 4-bedroom place, and she's going to have a bedroom and an office, and I'll have a bedroom and an office, and it's a really very nice house. But we are not in there yet, and that has been incredibly stressful. It's I just want to point out, you notice that cave that we've just left now? It was like a huge hole, like some underground nuclear testing site. That's going to pop up again later. I found a lot like that, and it's very strange. Anyway, yeah, we've been dealing with the solicitors for the last 2 months. At time of recording this, we were hoping to get the exchange sorted out tomorrow, so that we can move in a couple of weeks, and that is not looking like it's going to happen. There's a lot of, because we're all dumping, sort of deposits and savings and large chunks of money gotten from other areas. There's a lot of anti-money laundering laws which are really, really taking the piss. Now, I work for a financial institution, and we have to do lots of obligatory learning and testing on things like money laundering. And I can tell you, nowhere in that does it say money launderers like to put a lot of money in their bank and try and buy out of it. It's crazy. So we're waiting on that to get sorted out, because after a week of chasing, the conveyancer decided that they were going to, at 4 o'clock on a Friday afternoon, tell us that we were missing loads of documentation, which they'd never asked for before. So I guess we're all deeply pleased about that. Let's not talk about that water. It's a little transparent. It's very hard to see. It's just this dark block. Anyway, so that is what we've been sort of planning. Oh, this asshole. I've got enchanted diamond armour on, and yeah, he's knocked me for a heart and a half. I'm not sure how that works, but again, it's another big open, just massive chamber. It's utterly ridiculous. Anyway, as I say, that's what I've been up to, and that's going to let me do a number of things. In the foreseeable future, it's going to let me starve, because I have no money whatsoever. Absolutely no money. That sucks. I do need to sell one of my cars, which is a bloody nice car, but it is also quite specialist, so it's not, getting everybody rushing to it, so that's going to take a little bit of time. But what the plan is hopefully, I mean, I am going to finally, after a very long time, be in a house where all this that is in front of me, my screens, my computers, my keyboards, my desk, all of that shit is not going to be in my bedroom. And you have no idea how much I'm looking forward to that. It's going to be amazing. So that's going to let me spread out. I've got quite a big office. So I will have quite a big office, and hopefully I can sort of move some shit in there and get my steering wheel out so I can do some Euro trucking or some driving games, and we'll record some of that. I've got partially built kits that we can actually set up an area maybe and do some of that. I'm just having a look round. shit I've got. I got lathes and 3D printers and stuff. I'm going to do some stuff with that as well. So that's part of what I want to do. Now, just quickly, even though I knew there were villagers in here, I didn't actually look. And yeah, some of them have got some good shit. You saw that pic there, that was quite good. I'm just looking at what we can get. These guys, interesting axe. Yes, fairly dull sword. And some weird trains. That's probably something really technical, so we'll leave that well alone. And this will be where the diamond armor came from. Anyway, it's probably worth grabbing some chisel for that. Anyway, as I was saying, so part of the plan is I am going to do some videos maybe on the redecoration and other improvements that we're going to need to do to the house. Obviously that's going to take time because, as I say, I'm going to be fucking skint lad. But we're going to need to do bathroom. It's an old guy that we're buying it off, so a lot of the house is old man spec, you know, carpets in the bathroom, that kind of thing. So we're going to need to modernise it a little bit. Pink bathroom suite, that's going to go. It's very baby pink as well. It's not like a good vibrant pink that might be quite cool. It's not great. So yeah, there's going to be videos to do that. I've done loads of bathrooms in the past, tiling, plumbing and stuff like that. So that might make some interesting videos. It's hard to do how-to videos when there are experts who do it for a living doing it. But on the other hand, everybody seems to be throwing their shit in on YouTube, and I've always been, you know, I'm not going to do things while other people are doing it, but to be frank with you, other people are doing it anyway and getting away with it. So, you know, it might be interesting. You might learn some shit, or probably learn how not to do it. But that's not the point. Anyway, there's a bit of that. I'm going to build a big ass shed out the back. I want a workshop, a big workshop. And again, that's where I can do sort of some more creative projects, some bigger stuff. I've got a lot of things in mind. The bottom corner of the garden, and it's a nice big garden. I am so looking forward, because I've had no garden for 3 years, and in weather like this, you just want to sit out there in the evening, get some friends around, have a barbecue, shit like that. I have been itching to do that, so really looking forward to that. Bottom corner of the garden, the plan is to create a sort of I was going to say patioed, but you know, flagstoned seating area. So I'll probably have to make some seats for that. And then I've got an idea on a sort of, you know, big table with a burner thing in it for, you know, sitting around. So I'll make one of those. That's going to involve a lot of various different skills. I was going to build it in wood, but then I thought, well, actually it's probably just easier to get some 1-inch square box section steel and make a frame out of that, and then do that. I want to put, you know, sort of audio in the garden. You get some speakers in there that are weatherproof and shit like that. These are all things that have been mulling around in my head over the last couple of months or more. But to do all that, I'm going to really need the workshop. I've got lots of stuff to go in there: band saws, pillow drills, table saws, shite like that. That's been accrued over a long number of years. It's going to be nice to have somewhere to put all that. But I mean, you know, I don't really know how big the workshop's going to be, but it's probably 10 or 12 feet wide and probably twice that long. You know, it's not, it's not massive, but this is England. We don't have huge amounts of space, but that's something I am looking forward to doing. I'll be doing that by scratch. I mean, you could go and buy a shed from B&Q or whatever, but they are ludicrously expensive and they're built out of toilet paper. So I reckon I can build my own from scratch. But, I mean, still, as I say, it's still going to be bloody expensive. It's to be like 1,500 quid probably, if not more. So again, that's probably a project that will go on over the winter, to be fair. And there's loads of shit like that we'll need to do. We kind of want to do knock through the garage into the living room and turn the garage into the kitchen, because the kitchen in the house is quite small, and stuff like that. Again, shit that takes lots of money, and will probably, at least some of it, needs to be done by a professional. But I think that'd be quite a nice direction to take the channel. I know when Vintage Beef bought his house, I did suggest to him that he did a renovation video series and try and get sponsors and shit for doing that, and I think he did to a certain degree, but I don't think it was quite the success he was hoping, which is fine. So it's difficult to judge, because you go and look at some of these channels where people are renovating houses or whatever, or making something, and they're getting huge numbers of views, and then sometimes people just aren't interested. It's weird. This is great as well. Get some eggs, throw in, the first fucker pops outside. Anyway, I think it's time to go and look a bit further afield. Anyway, that's the planned future. I'll still do some game stuff, and I'll probably do more game stuff, even, hopefully, perhaps once I get a separate area. However, that's obviously, as I say, caused quite a bit of stress, so I'm sure you can imagine. Now, a lot of you might know that a year ago, a bit more than a year ago, I adopted a three-legged cat who was X-Ray, who is the greatest dude known to mankind. I mean, the guy is just fucking genius. He's hilarious fun. Follows me around a lot. We go for walks together around the block and stuff, and he's generally a great guy. And then just before the real hot weather kicked in, he just started not being quite himself. He's 6 now. He's quite kitteny. You give him tummy rubs, and he does sort of play fighting with you and grabs you and chews you a bit. He stopped doing that. He sort of slowed down a little bit, and I thought, well, maybe it's the way they turn up. And then he stopped eating. And you know what fucking cats are like. You buy a massive sack of food, and then they decide, you know what, I don't want that anymore. So I thought, he's just doing that. So I do what I normally do and just leave it there, and he'll decide, actually, no, you know what, I'm hungry, I'll have that. And he didn't. He's always had wet food as long as dry food as long as I've had him. The RSPCA I got him from, they fed him dry food. And yeah, he just wasn't eating any of it, and he stopped drinking, and then he started getting more lethargic. And again, it's like, you know, is it the weather? Because it was fucking hot. He's got a fur coat on, you know, he was just lying there. But it was becoming apparent that no, this was not right. He was losing weight, so I took him down to the vet. And he was not a very well bunny. He had some infection. I don't know what. He had a temperature of 41, so he was not doing well. So they gave him antibiotics and anti-inflammatories. Basically just took my wallet and walked off with it. It was quite true. I thought it might be a tooth infection because he wasn't eating his biscuits, but they did say subsequently that his teeth are fine. So I don't know what that was. And she said his blood sugar was very high. No, he hadn't been eating very much and stuff, so I thought, yeah, it's probably something related to that. So we kind of left it as was. So that was what day was that? That was a Wednesday. Within an hour of getting home, he started picking up. And by Saturday, he was about 85% Bob. You know, he'd come back from 10% Bob. And you know, Saturday night, I think he jumped up on the bed for the first time in a couple of weeks. I've got a very high bed because I bought one of those Ottoman bed things that lifts up so you can store shit under it, and I wanted more storage space, so I got some old IKEA shelves and built a framework to sit the bed on. You know how deep a Billy bookcase is. So I've got a lot more storage space, but what it didn't occur to me, of course, is it actually raised the bed up as well because I'm an idiot. But it's quite cool. You climb on it like you're some sort of 5-year-old. So just quickly break off here. I decided at this point that I don't really want this resource pack, these textures. So a little bit of a flick about. I've got Faithful, which I like. I tried Bricksaw. It's a great idea, but it's a novelty. You can't really tell. I mean, it's even worse than the last one. You can't see what is what. Torches are quite cool. I'll say that, but the actual item, I think that jack potato I ask you, it's just no, and the shitty little clicky button noise. Could do without that one. Thank you very much. So I've tried to stay true, which is supposed to be a faithful one. Faithful in the sense that it looks like the old one. Not overly excited about that. I mean, it does look like Minecraft, I guess. But let's compare it to playing Minecraft. Yeah, I don't know if I did something wrong there or what, but it wasn't a massive improvement. So, tried, tested. Faithful being the keyword there. I've switched back to that. The rocks, stone is a little insipid, I'll be honest. But it'll do. This dark cobble seems to be alright. It was having some weird glitches before. But it'll do. Anyway. So I was saying, we had 80% Bob on Saturday night, and it's pretty good. But Sunday came round and he was clearly drifting off again. And by the time the following Wednesday came around, I was actually thinking he might be dead. He was just lying on his side, not responding. The curve was quite sharp. People say, "Oh, what did you do to Wednesday?" But yeah, Sunday he dropped off a little bit. Monday a little bit more, not much. Tuesday, and then between Tuesday and Wednesday, there's been bleh. So I took him back to the vet, and the vet was like, "Yeah, his blood sugar is now 27. It should have been 6." So he was clearly very diabetic, and they were like, you're going to have to inject him twice a day for the rest of his life. She said it's expensive and it's a commitment, and not a lot of people can deal with that. And it's either that or he gets put to sleep. And that was a very, very tough decision. Actually, no, it wasn't. I've got fucking pet insurance because I'm not an idiot. And there is no way on God's earth I'm putting him down. He's just such a fucking great dude. He's my bestie. So, I said, give me the drugs. And so that was Thursday. I had to go back on Friday to pick it up, get taught how to jab him and stuff. And fuck me, it is expensive. We were working it out, and the veterinary nurse, bless her, she was having a bit of a brain fart, and we were like working out that he's on a test run of 2 units in the morning and 2 units in the evening of insulin, and the 10ml bottle held 40ml, and we were trying to work out. And she's like, well, yeah, that's going to last 10 days at nearly 70 quid a bottle. And we're like, what the fuck? And then we realised it's 40 units per milliliter, so it's 400 units in a bottle, which makes things slightly less painful. But I say, I have insurance. They will be paying for it. I hope I haven't actually claimed yet. But they're going to sting me next year. But fuck it. A couple of days later, Bob's back. And he's eating again. He lost quite a lot of weight. He was a chunk, to be fair. He was 6.9. He went down to 5 kilos. But he's back. He's back, and that's fucking amazing. And there's one of those weird things. So I am very pleased. Injecting him is not fun. I won't lie. Basically, we put some food down, wait for him to get deeply engrossed in that, and then grab hold of a handful of flesh and shove a needle in it. Sometimes he doesn't even notice it. Sometimes when you grab his skin, he's like, knows what's coming and tries to do a bit of a runner, and you have to sort of firmly hold him down and give him a quick jab. And by the time it's gone in, he's forgotten it was even happening. He's a good lad. I can occasionally, when I've taken him on journeys in the past, he's crapped himself in the carrier and had to put him in the bath, and he doesn't fight. He just lets you get on with it. He's great. Anyway, it is night, and I have no idea where I am. We are about 4 hours into this journey, shall we call it? And yeah, things. There's a lot of water. There's a lot of water. There's some island. I thought I was, because I went south to get to all that big ice area. and then I went a little bit east or west or something, and I thought, look on the map. I thought if you look on the map, it will show you kind of like where you are, but I think that's just for the maps you find for those big house things. Yeah, so I thought I'd been rowing north, but in fact it turns out I've been rowing south, so I've gone even further south. I turn around, and I mean, it's a beautiful night, don't get me wrong. Lovely calm sea, nice slightly cloudy sky, Ath moon. It's all good, he says. So yeah, life has been stressful the last month or so. Not got a lot of shooting done, not got a lot of game playing in general done. Been quite busy at work, quite busy at life, and been quite busy with the cat. That said, where the fuck is he? I know he was alright the other day when I turned around and he was lying on his back, his front paws in a sort of bunny stance on top of him, and his only back leg dead straight at 45 degrees, just out the back. It was right, okay. He's no longer lying on his side looking like he's fallen out of a building. He's like, he's back to happy sleeping. And the weird thing was, he stopped eating, as I say, dry food. I had to put him on wet food, which I don't really like. It's a bit crap anyway, and it makes the house stink, and it's generally smelly. But he does like that quite a lot now. But I had to put him on the wet food to try and get some moisture in because he wasn't really drinking. And so he's kind of still on that. But he's good back on the biscuits now, which is good. I mean, he's kind of grazing on both. I'm a bit worried about overfeeding him, to be honest with you. I don't want him to get back to being fat boy. But I looked at the packet of the wet food, and it was like 3 to 4 packets a day. I thought, well, that seems a little excessive. So we give him one in the morning and one in the evening, and that seems to work for him. Which is, as I say, good. So we're in this sort of recuperation. So I've got to take him back to the vet next week and get his vitals checked again. Let's see if it's working, if it's doing the job. But working or not, he's not in the hyperglycemic coma that he quite clearly was last time. Yeah, there we go. Past it. You know, I've never actually been in one of these things before. I don't know anything about them. I think you have to have loads of underwater breathing stuff, don't you, really, which I've never really had, so as such I've not been in them. And it's scary noises. It's a lot of featureless stuff. But anyway, there we go. That is, as I say, what I've been up to and what I plan on being up to. I am excited going forwards. Looking forward to some good stuff. I'm looking forward to the garden, as I say. I've been promising Bob a garden since I've had him. So he'll really love that. It's a big grass thing. And the good thing about him not having that sounds wrong. The thing about him missing a rear leg is he can't jump very high. So you're supposed to keep cats in for 6 weeks, I think, when you move. But there's no way of him getting out of that garden, so we should be able to let him out a little bit earlier. We'll supervise him. He doesn't mind wearing a harness. He's quite good. But I took him to my mum's for a month, and He escaped into the garden. Now, that was a trident noise. I have no idea where I am, by the way. Absolutely no idea where I am. I think I am not where I want to be. That's a bit of a dead end. And that fucker just destroyed my boat in one shot. And I think you can probably tell what's coming. One of those would have been fine. Both of those was a bit of a shit. Yeah, I'm a bit pissed off about that. That tried and just destroyed my boat instantly. I don't know why he was even down there. He's back by the bloody water temple thing. But yeah, that's a little under 4 hours in. You've got a good little idea of what I've been up to and what I'm going to be up to. And next time we do one of these, it's going to be a bit more game based and a little bit less me waffling away. But I thought it's a good opportunity to talk with you guys. We'll be back and we'll be streaming more hopefully and stuff like that. But give me a bit of time. Right, I shall pass you on to the next episode with Del, and I'll see you in about 3 episodes time when I'll be back, and hopefully I won't be such a fucking mess. Cheers guys,